welcome to another Turing Dev Talks. My name is Jose and I will be your host for today. And today I'll be talking to Cheng, okay, who previously worked as a journalist and the professional photographer, and just move it to development side as we do. So nowadays he has over 7 years of experience and is expert in front-end technology. And today he is here to talk about among React.js, Angular, and Vue.js, which one you should choose in 2022. And honestly, I am so excited to talk about this. So first of all, okay, without further ado, hi Chen, how are you doing and how is your day doing so far?
Hi, Jose. Yeah, I'm doing well, and thank you for your invitation. I'm glad to be here. Of course, the work. I joined Turing in April and start to work for Los Angeles, US-based company. It's a small team with 6 people for now. But I believe we did a great job on consulting and supporting a top apparel brand to improve their e-commerce site. And I enjoy working with my current colleagues. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that was great. So, all right, before we go dive into our discussion, okay,
Mhm.
Chen, what do you do in your free time?
Uh, Free time. I think because I'm a former photographer, so I like photography absolutely, and I when I have time, I also learn to play piano. I'm a newbie,
Nice,
and
nice.
yeah, and I also like play video games. Yeah.
Nice. That was awesome. Thanks for sharing, by the way. Okay. And all right. So before we dive deep into our discussion, okay,
Mhm.
you start as you said, a journalist and a professional photographer, right? And then you switch it to development. How did it all come along? So what is your experience with this?
Uh, oh, that's an interesting question. Long story short, I followed my heart, as Steve Jobs told us. The full story is programming was my interest since I was in middle school. It's about 23 years ago. The computer is emerging stuff in China at that time. I was so lucky that my father brought me one, and from then I started to learn the basic language to create websites using Dreamweaver. Yeah. And to be honest, the computer games attracted me first. And then after 5 years of working as a journalist and a photographer, I seen everything goes digital. More and more people spend their time on the screen. So I decided to follow my interest in computers and change my career to front-end development. This industry has a very fast involvement. It has spent me years to study new things and catch up with the trends since I had left this field for a long time. Um, there is an interesting thing. The first day when I onboarded the new job, my mentor asked me which IDE I prefer. I told him Dreamweaver. Then he said, I didn't hear of that, and told me they using the WebStorm, which I didn't know it too. Then both of us fell to silence for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
the
So
light, yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. uh, uh, I think the lucky is I like to learn and try new things. I think that's the most important factor that helped me to survive through this career change.
Nice. Yeah, and so Dreamweaver, it has been a long time since I used Dreamweaver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great, 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 great. And so, uh, how is your experience as a developer has been so far?
Since I like to create stuff and solve problems. So the developer is suit me down to the ground. I just enjoy my work.
Nice, nice. And coming to frameworks, okay.
Mhm.
Vue.js, Angular, and React.js are basically the most used framework and libraries on the front end out there, right? What you should say are the qualities of each one?
These three frameworks are now the most famous with no doubt. Let me start from React. Is now an open source framework, which was originally developed by Facebook's team. The use of the virtual DOM was absolutely a breaking through innovation back in 2015. In my experience, it's the mental model of how I think and create front-end applications. With React, we can create reusable components and break down a whole website into many small parts, which makes it fast and easy to maintain. The second Vue is the easiest to learn compared with the other two frameworks. It uses the MVVM, which stands for Model View Model Architecture. I can still remember how exciting when I first implement a two-way binding, a two-way data binding with just the lines of Vue code. Is as simple as magic. Vue Vue pays good attention to the view layer of the application and then works with supporting libraries for other additional functionality, so it can leave in the core lighting size. On the other hand, Angular is like an all-in-one framework that is based on TypeScript. It uses a two-way date binding feature similar to the Vue. This way, a developer would see what changes they are making in the application and how it looks like in real time. Angular can easily build both single and multi-page web applications. Due to its various features, Angular is opted by some of the biggest companies in the world.
Okay, yeah, that was great. So that were the quality, right? But how would you say they differs from each other?
That's a good question. I think everything has its pros and cons. Choosing the right one to suit your circumstance is the first step to success. Um, I think at a high level, there are many common advantages for them, both of them. For example, they are all allow you to reuse an already built component in your code. This way, it's easier to collaborate and use these components in other parts of the application. So increase the productive, productivity and maintenance. New changes in the application can be easily made, and all of them have a suite of tools that make developers comfortable using them, from a robust community to dedicated debugging tools and extensions in IDEs. Then let's focus on the difference. React use of the virtual DOM allow a seamless performance and ensure that even high-load applications have fast rendering. It supports one-way data flow, which means data has one and only one way to be transferred to other parts of the application. In the beginning, you may find it's a little complicated to just implement a single feature, a simple feature. But in a large project, this pattern could help you keeping logic clean and get the predictable results. React introduced a new JSX syntax to write components. In the initial phase of learning React, it can be difficult for the developers to understand its concepts. The second view also uses virtual DOM, but in contrast to React, it supports two-way data binding, which means that adding iteration in the model replicates promptly on view and vice versa. It's easier to use, but it can mess things up fast in a large project. Of course, you can follow the one-way data flow pattern with Vue in that situation. So I think at this point, Vue gives you more flexibility, but you should take responsibility for driving it well. Vue use the .vue file to create single file components. The syntax is very simple, thus easier to work with. There is a mutual shortage between React and Vue. They both used for developing only the UI part of the application. Therefore, to get complete development tools, you will have to rely on other technologies. However, Angular provides all things you need to build a complete application, including HTTP client, routing, validation, and forms, and wide variety of features and built-in functionalities make Angular a very complex framework to learn. But it is the go-for option for most enterprise-based applications due to its stability and reliability.
Yeah, that's true for sure. And then you talk about community, right? When it comes about community in development, okay, how is the community in the development for each one?
When it comes to the community, all of these frameworks are now open source, and each of them has a massive and active community. I did some research before this meeting, and I saw React and Vue have more than 6,300 watchers, but Angular has half less of that at 3,100 watchers. This shows Vue and React's popularity among users and their value compared to Angular. However, the number of contributors for Vue is lower than Angular and React. What I think one possible explanation is that Vue is driven entirely by the open source community, whereas Angular and React have a significant share of Google and Facebook employees contributing to the repositories.
Nice. That was so exciting. All right. And so, Shen, all this aside, another crucial factors for any framework is its libraries, right? What's the situation when it comes to library for Vue, Angular, and React.js?
For the libraries, in my experience and observations in my recent work, React did the greatest job in number of usable libraries and the ecosystem. Because when I want to find a component library, like a gallery, virtual scrolling list, or drag and drop layout, or UI kit, I have more choice with React.
Nice. And could you please tell me or tell us some of the most popular ones?
For example, the Material UI, a library of React UI components that implements Google's material design, and Design, a React UI library that contains a set of high-quality components, etc. They contain the tons of out-of-box components can meet almost any need in my work. And the library called React Virtualized, which is a component for efficiently rendering large lists. It gave me a very good impression of rendering thousands of rows data in table and solve the page performance bottlenecks for my client.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, we talk about these three frameworks, right? But I think our discussion would be incomplete without talking about which one of the three, okay, you prefer and why.
Oh, you may already notice that I prefer to use React at most of the time because it does well in performance, maintainability, and community support. And it also did a good job of balancing these factors. Another reason is I like functional programming, which is a programming style. And this style is applied in React perfectly. With this style, we write pure functions, which are functions that return an output solely on the input value and never affect anything outside of them. This will help prevent bugs in our code, especially in a large project.
Yeah, for sure. And this is so interesting. Okay, I'm sure it gives our developer a good idea which framework they should learn in 2022. Okay, and here I would like to call upon our developers fellas out there who has 3+ years of experience and are confident with their tech stack. Okay, you can head up on turing.com/jobs and apply for the job that is more suitable for your tech stack. Okay. What else? You can follow Turi on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, YouTube. Okay, you can follow us there. And if you like this content, give us the big fat thumbs up for this video and subscribe to our channel if you are not subscribed already. Okay, and tell me in the comment section below what you are interested for. Okay, then we'll make a video for that. So back to you, Jen. This has been a great discussion for me. Okay, and I think it's time to bring our talk to a close. And okay, and before that, could you please share some resource with our developers out there that can help them to be a better front-end developer?
I think the community is a good resource, such as the Free Code Camp developer community. And you can also find some groups on Facebook or follow some accounts on Twitter that focus on the front end. As I remember, there is a account front end daily. Yeah. So you can still learn something even when you randomly swipe on your mobile phone. Learn constantly. There is always one more thing to learn. That is another lesson that Steve Jobs gave us. The front-end development field was growing so fast. Now that we already saw some new frameworks become more and more popular, like Solid.js, Svelte, I think is, and Alpine.js.
Yes.
Next time we discuss the most famous frameworks, might not the three which we talked about today. By staying in the loop, by joining and interacting with active developer communities, you can keep up to date with new technology trends and avoid falling behind.
Nice. And pretty much showing our next interview, when we talk about frameworks, we have to include Svelte and Alpine JS as well, right? Because they are growing too fast. All right. So as that said, that's a wrap from our side. Okay. Thanks so much for sharing your knowledge, your experience, and I'm pretty much sure that our audience like this as much as I did. Okay. And I would like to call upon our developers out there once more again. So if you are confident with your tech stack and have more than 3 years of experience, head up on turing.com/jobs and apply for the job that is suitable for your tech stack. Complete the vetting process, and then you will find a job as we did. Okay? Don't forget to subscribe to Turing.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Clubhouse, Twitter. We are there. Okay. Tell us in the comments below what you would like to see in the upcoming videos. Till then, we'll be back very soon with another developer stories like Chen. Okay. Thanks for your time, Chen, and I hope to see you again. Okay. Take care. Bye.
See you. Bye.